This is your SPaG for week 7. We're going to talk about planet for the newspaper article. So, you will know that in your sheet for your home learning this week, you have got a planning format like we would use in school. So you know that down this corner, there is a list of all the types of things you should be using in your writing. And if you do them, you can tick them off when you've put one in. So, paragraph 1. We're going to ignore the introduction because you've already written it. Okay, so I'm going to start from the first paragraph where we start to describe what happened. Now, it's really important that this is in order. So the first thing I need to explain is that the trick was going to start and what should have happened. Because the whole point of this video and your piece of writing is that the evening went wrong. Okay, the rabbit was supposed to come out of the hat at the start, and because he didn't, there was a problem. Okay, so the first sentence, you can see I've done my planning. I've put my paragraph 1 in the middle, and I've started my sentence 1 over here, and I'm going to number them to help you. So, as part of his first trick, so I'm trying to explain it's at the start of the evening, and I'm using the word trick to tell you that it's a magician and he's about to do a trick that's going to involve magic. As part of his first trick, what might we say? As part of his first trick, the magician was going to pull the rabbit out of the hat. Now, rather than just say magician, I might think of using a noun phrase, which you'll see is on my list over here, expanded noun phrase. So I'm probably going to put clever magician into my gap to remind me to use a noun phrase. I could put one in, I could say fluffy rabbit, I could say black smart hat, I could use a couple of different ones. My second sentence, I'm going to talk to the magician because the magician can tell me what should have happened. So, he said, now for the purpose of this I have just put Mr. G because his name is incredibly long and I don't want to spell it wrong. So I've just put Mr. G said. Now, I've put said, but I bet you can think of a better word. I bet you can think of saying he yelled, he explained, he whispered, he shouted. There's loads of really good words. Most of them end in ed. I'm going to use explained because he is explaining. You're asking him a question. What happened? And he is going to say this. Usually, the rabbit came out of the hat. That's going to be my explanation. So I might put in some more noun phrases about rabbits. Usually, when I pick up the hat, the rabbit comes out. Okay, I might use my subordinate conjunction in there. So usually, when the rabbit is ready, he comes out of the hat or he arrives. Okay. I don't like the word happen, so I'm actually going to cross it out and I'm going to think of something else to put instead. So this is all planning. This isn't a full sentence. It's just your ideas. Okay, my third sentence then. Unfortunately. Now, unfortunately means, oh no, or I wasn't expecting that to happen. That's a bad thing. So I might put unfortunately or sadly or frustratingly or all kinds of things. I could put, I think unfortunately I'm going to stick with. So, unfortunately, the rabbit. This is my first opportunity to explain what the rabbit did. So I think you can try and fill that in. What did the rabbit actually do? He didn't come out of the hat, that's for sure. So what actually did he do? Can you fill it in? Make sure you're trying to use expanded noun phrases. Okay, if you can use an exclamation mark, that'd be even better. Remember, your exclamation mark is a line and a dot. Wow, the rabbit jumped out of the hat. Well, he didn't. So the rabbit avoided the hat. I could put an exclamation mark at the end. Now, thinking about my second paragraph, I've just explained that the rabbit didn't come out of the hat. I need to explain what happened next. And the best person to ask about that are going to be people who are sitting in the audience and watching what was happening. Because I've already talked to the magician. Okay, so I don't want to talk to him again. I'm going to pick someone else. So I might say, I might pick Amar and Susan. I've got two people, or I could do Mr. and Mrs., or I could do Mr. Jack Russell said this. Just pick some names and put them in. Remember to use the same people in your first sentence as in your second sentence. Don't change the person name halfway through. So these people were in the audience. I might say that maybe it's a large audience or it's a huge audience. Okay. I might talk about how many people they are. So I might say 1,000 strong, which means that there's lots and lots of people in this audience. We're trying to put the adjectives in, so we're using expanded noun phrases. So then I'm going to explain what these people said. What did they notice? If the rabbit didn't come out of the hat, what did they see? So I might mention words like mousetrap. I might mention that he got quite cross. Okay, he got quite frustrated. And I might mention that they realised something was wrong. Okay, so they knew there was a problem. Okay, so any of those words could go in here as an explanation. Okay, my next sentence then. So that's my first one. That's my second one. Okay, and this is my third one. So, shocked. They could only watch. This is when I'm saying what's going to happen next. They could only watch what happened next. What did the rabbit do? We could talk about the mousetrap. We could talk about an egg, because that's something that came out of it. We could talk about the trousers that he pulled out of the hat. We could talk about all kinds of things. We could talk about electricity if you wanted to. Okay? Be careful, it's an electrical socket that he stuck his fingers into, and that gave him an electric shock. Okay? So shock, they could only watch as dun 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 something happened. Okay? So your job is to fill in all the gaps. So you should have planned your first paragraph and your second paragraph. Try and use the notes. You can add more sentences if you want to. Be as creative as you can. We're going to write these paragraphs next week and write more of it. So try as hard as you can not to lose these. If you do want to start writing for the next day, then what you could try is reading the sentence to yourself. Shocked, they could only watch as the magician pulled out a horrible egg and his own trousers out of the hat. So I would say it out loud. I might say it a couple of times and then I would write it. Okay? The saying it out loud will help you to make it into a proper sentence before you write it down. Okay? Good luck, Purples, you can do it.